Hey everyone, this is Andy from the Broadway Boys Hockey Podcast, and I'm very excited for the Royal Rumble. My Final Four prediction, I would like to see Daniel Bryan, the Swiss Superman Cesaro, the phenomenal AJ Styles, and the powerhouse of positivity, Big E. And honestly, my dream is I want to see Big E finally break through that glass ceiling. I think we could all use his positivity right now and what he represents, and I'd like to see him challenge the head of the table, the big dog, Roman Reigns, whatever nicknames he's tacked onto himself recently, because I think that would be a great WrestleMania matchup. Big fan of Big E, big fan of Roman, and as much as I like the other three names mentioned for the Final Four, I just think, I think it's his time, and that's what I want to see. So if you disagree, I don't know, come at me at Captain Tennille on Twitter or at Broadway Boys Podcast on Twitter.
All right, what's going on, everyone? I am JFS the Reviewer, or here on my channel, you don't really care what my name is, and give me my thoughts on the Royal Rumble, which is a couple of days. I'm not very happy with the build-up for it, but hey, I mean, that's WWE for you. But anyways, I have already have an idea who I think is going to win the Rumble from the men and the women. Pretty much, I'm just going by what I think they're going to go with the storyline. So from the women's side, I'm sure we're going to have I don't know, because they do have a lot of great women on this roster, but I think it's all going to come down to Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai, or Rhea Ripley. And honestly, either one of them could actually win it, because the way I'm seeing it, you could have Asuka versus Alexa Bliss, or Io Shirai, or even Rhea Ripley, especially to make up for the fact that last year Rhea was pretty much screwed over thanks to the writers. So hopefully she'll get another opportunity. Hopefully she get another opportunity. But if they don't have her going up against Asuka, then I could see them having Sasha Banks either against Bianca Belair or Rhea Ripley. Either way, I could actually see that happening. And if it is down to one of these four women, I could see it down to Shirai and Ripley. And the way I'm thinking that could go is Shirai could try going for the moonsault. She misses. Ripley hits her with the Riptide, throws her over, gets the win. That would be great for her, but with how WWE has done with their bookings, I don't really trust them. But luckily I have three other picks, so either way works. Either way works. For the men, I have different ideas of who I think could win this. We have Daniel Bryan. There could be the possibility of Edge getting one more run. That's possible for him. Shinsuke Nakamura, Sheamus, or even, dare I say, The Rock could actually be the one to come back and win it. The way I see it, I could see Drew McIntyre defending his title against Sheamus, and that could be Sheamus' last match, because he has talked about having back injuries before. So I could see him possibly having one more match, and this could be against Drew. He loses to Drew, and he puts his friend over, and he could retire. And what a better way to retire than at WrestleMania? I mean, not many wrestlers get that opportunity. And if they don't do that, I could see it being Drew versus Edge. See who can actually hit it fastest, either the spear or the claymore. Could see Edge trying to see if he can recapture that magic, maybe win one more WWE title reign. But I don't think so. I mean, he's very limited how many wrestlers he can face off against. But I don't know. Either way, I can see them putting Drew over. For the other three guys I mentioned, against the Chief himself, Roman Reigns, I could see it either being with Bryan or Nakamura, especially how they did seem to tease that idea of Bryan against Roman, and Nakamura was screwed over out of his opportunity. I could see him winning that chance to get the title. Or they could have The Rock come back, win the Rumble, and he could try helping his family try to stop Roman what he's doing. It could be like Chief versus Chief. If Roman wins, he would be the true head chief. He would defeat The Rock, finally take him down. And hey, Rock could put over his family. wouldn't mind putting over Roman if he won't get injured within the few minutes of a match. So either way, and I see that finish with the guys. I could actually see Edge being one of the final few, but if not, I would love to have it be Bryan and Nakamura being the last two left in the ring. The history those two have and the build-up they could have leading to the finish would be great. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a good Rumble, as long as we don't have Brock Lesnar in there tossing almost everybody in the match. But I don't trust Vince. I think he would try doing that, but I think Brock, he's getting paid doing nothing, and I think he's not going to risk his health to come back for Vince. So I think he'll just sit back and just let these guys go at it. I don't know. Either way, I'm looking forward to this Rumble. The build-up for it has not been great, but the match itself will still be fun.
So heading toward the Women's Rumble, we're going to start with that one. My final four in this is going to be Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Bayley, and I'm actually going to say Rhea Ripley. I think Ripley gets in on this. She's going to try and rebuild some of the momentum. I know she's NXT for life, but what more can she really do down there? What, a feud with Raquel Gonzalez? Anyway, I digress. The four here is going to be those. And I think Bianca Belair is going to work to get back to where she was. Last year, she should have won it. She should have. But I'm going to go in a different route because I think Alexa could win this. Alexa in her Fiend form, her Akuma form, winning this, and then she facing Asuka at WrestleMania, it'd be decent. But I'm going to take Bayley to win this because there's money in their one last match between Banks and Bayley. Yes, they had a great match at Hell in a Cell. That was really good. But what's better? A WrestleMania match. Building up. The last time between Banks and Bayley. Throw in this is the absolute last time they'll face each other. Have the grand crescendo between these two at WrestleMania. Have them go on last. Just give them 25 minutes at WrestleMania and say, go have fun. It'll be a great match of the night between these two. And I really, really hope that that's what happens. And that's what I'm going to predict what will happen. However, in terms of the worst timeline in this, Charlotte Flair wins. I'm letting that sink in with everyone. Charlotte wins. She becomes the first ever back-to-back Women's Royal Rumble winner. Let's just put that on the list of accomplishments. She hasn't done that yet. It makes sense for what they want to push her as. But let's just hope Lacey Evans knocks her out of this. And yeah. So I'm saying that Bliss, Bayley, I'm sorry. There's too many people that start with B in this Rumble. I get confused. I'm going to take Bayley to win this, and we get that one last match between these two at WrestleMania. So heading on to the Men's Royal Rumble. God. Okay. I know. I feel everyone else's pain on this. Remember how last year's Rumble was fun, boys and girls, when we had Brock tearing through everyone, Drew McIntyre winning, people in the crowd, filthy, dirty, unwashed marks standing beside each other, not just I miss that too. Anyway, what's going to happen is I think Jey Uso wins this and proves to Roman, yeah, man, I'm with you. You know, I'm going to show my age a little bit, but how many remember the old Looney Tunes where you had Spike and his pal Chester, who just keep going, hey, Spike, what do you want to do, Spike? You want to go, Spike? Catch some catch? Nah. This is what Jey Uso is going to do with Roman when he wins the Rumble. He goes, yeah, Roman, I'm going to go to Raw. I'm going to go to Raw and win the title. You want me to win the title, Roman? Nah. You want me to go over there and win the United States title? Nah. But what's going to happen is that, and let's get nuts in this. Let's get nuts. Since there is going to be no Roman and Rock, Jay pulls a Batista circa 2005. He says he's going to go on Raw and he's going to challenge Drew, but ends up signing a SmackDown contract and challenges Roman at WrestleMania. And Roman throws in the stipulation like before. You lose, you're done with the family, or you have to get on your hands and knees and apologize to me for it. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm going to take Jay in this. The way he's been built up. Big E has a chance, but I think it's too soon. Shinsuke's been built up. Don't get your hopes up, everyone. And there could be a surprise in there to where somebody else comes out and win this, but I'm taking Jay Uso, and just the way he's been built the past 6 months. He says he's going to go to Raw, but ends up pulling a Batista, going to SmackDown, and actually takes on his brother Roman. Darkest timeline in all this, my darkest timeline prediction, I'm going to go a different route. Randy Orton wins. Randy Orton wins the Rumble, and we rebuild Drew versus Randy again. Randy's been one of the more consistent heels throughout this whole pandemic era. And when Randy's shown against Drew, he'll show up to work against Drew. And I think Randy Orton, it's boring. They love themselves, Randall Keith, who doesn't. And Randy Orton wins the Royal Rumble in the darkest timeline. I don't see Brocky Brock coming back, although it is highly possible. So those are my picks for this Sunday's Royal Rumble. It's very different. It's very odd, but hopefully we are one step closer to Vince McMahon's traveling circus and all of us getting back to the events and shows we love once again. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this. I'll be live tweeting the event, and stay positive, test negative. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's Amy D. I'm finally on the Brothers of Discussion podcast, as I have been saying I was going to be for a while, but let's do this real quick. Now, for the men's Royal Rumble, and the women's Royal Rumble, I have divided into 3 sections: who I want to win, who I think will win, and wild card options. So let's kick it off with the men. First, who I'd like to see win is Cesaro. Duh, but that's never going to happen. Next, I would love to see the King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. And last, Daniel Bryan. I mean, come on, Roman Reigns needs this match at WrestleMania 37. Bryan makes his opponents look like $1 million every time. This would be so great for the show of shows. All right. Now, who I think will win? The loser of the McIntyre versus Goldberg match. I'm not going to say another thing, keeping my opinion out of it. Next, I think that as far as the wild card options go, it's probably going to be Shaq. Just kidding. No, probably Brock Lesnar, and I'm good with this. Now, hear me out. Lesnar has 2 entertaining options. McIntyre embarrassed him at WrestleMania, but more interesting would be Brock versus Reigns. Paul Heyman should spearhead the storyline all the way to the show of the Immortals. I mean, it just makes sense. Okay, quick. Women's Royal Rumble. Who I want to win? Bianca Belair, excuse me. I mean, now is her time. I don't want him to wait and let her push fizzle out. This is the time for her to go. Shayna Baszler makes sense. And get her away from Nia. And Rhea Ripley, I mean, come on. What a way to get called up, right? Now, who I think will win? Bayley. Probably, maybe Charlotte. I love Charlotte, but I just don't think it's her year for the Rumble. Now, wild card option for the ladies. Boo, Ronda Rousey. I have something written in my notes next to it that I won't say here because it's foul language. But I really, really hope we don't see Ronda return. And if she does, she will win.
What's going on? Here's some predictions for the Royal Rumble. If Goldberg loses, I will shave my entire body. And I am very wrinkly. Roman Reigns, duct tape Kevin Owens' feet to the floor, and then just walk away. Let the referee count to 10, boom, it's over. And the winner of the Royal Rumble better be Bayley. Better be. She deserves it. And for the men, I have a bad feeling it's going to be Brock Lesnar. And Paul Heyman's going to have to choose between his two lovers, Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar.
Oh, hello there, brothers of discussion. It's me, Mr. Warren Hayes, and hello to all of you viewers out there of the Brothers of Discussion podcast, a quality podcast that I was very thrilled to have taken be invited to be a part of previously, and now I'm back to give you my top. My predictions, my top. I mean, it doesn't matter if they're top predictions or not. They're just predictions, right? My predictions for the Royal Rumble that is happening this very weekend for the matches, for the men, for the women. They both have Royal Rumbles. If we start with the dudes, here's my final four. This is who I think my final four is going to be. My final four, I believe, are going to be Daniel Bryan, Bobby Lashley, Big E, and Edge. I think since Edge has been announced to return, of course, based on what we know now, right? This might change, but anyway, this is what we know now. These would be my four top choices to finish off the Royal Rumble. Now, who would be my dream winner of the Royal Rumble? I would say Daniel Bryan. I think there is a significant amount of money in a Roman Reigns Daniel Bryan WrestleMania match. I think it would be compelling, full-blown heel Roman versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE, for the Universal title. I think it would be fantastic. I really do believe that there's good stuff to happen there. It would make sense. It feels big time. It would get the hardcore fans behind it as well. I think there's a lot of good there. My dream, that was my dream. But who do I think is going to win? Bobby Lashley. Because I think that over the past year now, with the Hurt Business, ever since Miro left, and they got rid of the Lana stuff, Bobby Lashley has been or a little after that, right? Just after, come to think of it, just after he fought Drew McIntyre last year, they've been pushing Bobby Lashley as an invincible monster, and he's been super protected. His booking has been extremely good, and that's not something you say often about WWE, but his booking has been so tight, so good. He's been positioned as a monster. He's been super protected. No one has really getting any clean victories over him, or they've been sparse. I think they're clearly setting him up for a big time match with Drew. Monster Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre at this point, I think it would be really, really good. So that's for the men's. As for the women now, my final four, Charlotte, to the dismay of a lot of people right there. But I think Charlotte, Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, and a returning Becky Lynch, who I think is going to make a surprise return at the Royal Rumble this year. My dream winner, Bianca Belair. I think you go with Bianca. You just, don't half measure shit. When you have a star on your hands, when you have someone who is absolutely outstanding that you can push credibly, that doesn't just strap the rocket and don't do the 50-50 shit, don't start pussyfooting around her. Just let her go. Just put Bianca in the position that she needs to be in so that she can go straight to a title shot, straight to a big time match at WrestleMania. She can do it. And it's going to get people excited. Why not? Why not do it? Why not just go ahead and do it? But I believe that the returning Becky Lynch, and I know it's a long shot, because Becky hasn't been announced, but I think she's a surprise return. I think she is the big surprise return. I think a returning Becky Lynch is going to win. You put her back into a title situation. And I think she gets the strap down the line. She heads back, comes back, heads to WrestleMania as the challenger, walks out as champion. I think that's a bit inevitable at this point. Regardless, she still has a claim on the title. So there you go. Those are my predictions for Royal Rumble weekend. Can we plug this? Can we talk about this? I mean, because the brothers of discussion are going to be on my podcast this Saturday morning at 11 a.m. We're going to be recording live on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. So why don't you come and join me and the guys, and we're gonna dig deep into the Royal Rumble this year. I'm excited to have them on. Hope you guys watching right here will join us over on youtube.com/Mr. Warren Hayes. Might as well go subscribe right now. Why don't you? That'll be a good time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, brothers of discussion. Have I been calling you discretion or discretion? Brothers of discussion. That's how I'll call you moving forward. Anyway, look, I love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Matt, let's do the Final Fours. Woo! All right, Matt, your women's Final Four. These are the last 4 women. They're going to be jaw-jacking. They're going to be pointing at a big sign that says WrestleMania on it. They better be, or I'm going to be livid. It's going to ruin the whole weekend for me. Matt, your 4 women. Who you got?
All right, so forgive me as we go through these lists if my Final Four doesn't line up with like the other lists of like winners and stuff.
We'll forgive you, Matt. We'll absolve you of that sin. What do you got?
All right. Final Four. So this is who I'm thinking is most likely to end up this Final Four. If I knew somebody else was going to win, I would absolutely adjust this. That's my asterisk on my Final Four. Mike, Bianca Belair, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Becky Lynch.
Oh.
She's going to be a late comer to the match. I think she'll be pretty close to 30, and she'll be sticking around. She's still Becky Lynch. They're still going to sell her as Becky Lynch. Mike, if we go about our favorites, if your favorites in your bottom 4, I think it would be fun to eliminate them one by one to tell you who's going to be the winner. But Mike, who are your Final 4?
Well, there's a lot of overlap. I don't see Becky Lynch being quite ready. I think she's still doing the mom thing.
Mistake.
Right. I just don't think they want to bring her back for a Rumble appearance unless she's winning it. And I think she'll just kind of find her own way to WrestleMania. I think she'll be ready for that. I would be pretty surprised if she came out for the Rumble. So my 4 women, I would. This is what I would put money on. 100%. Bayley will be in the bottom 4. 100%. She's going to be the heel to put over the whole match for whoever wins. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and then I'm going to put my girl Shayna Baszler in there. I think this is another opportunity here. I'm hoping they don't butcher this and let her get some more heat. I think she's one of the more capable heel wrestlers in the whole company. When she and Kairi Sane had a feud, I was so inspired. I bought T-shirts for both of them. That's how much I love their, David Goliath bouts. And it hasn't really paid off for me. Kairi has fled the continent, and Shayna is in like 3rd place in the women's tag division. Kills me. Those are my 4 women. Matt, the 4 men you got, bottom 4. Who we got?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we wanted to finish out the women's Rumble and then do the men's.
No, we'll do the 4x4. We'll go around. We got
all right. Everybody get your pads of paper and pens out. So write down the Final 4 for the women, and then we'll come back to that. And you guys keep track. All right. Mike's rules. Final 4 men. Before we go do the rest of the women's Rumble. Still, I'm talking shit. All right.
Does it make sense the other way? Do you want to do it that way?
It might be a big baby.
Big baby, man. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Let's do it.
All right. Here's my dream pick, Mike, for the women's Rumble.
Right.
I know. Okay, I think this could go either way with what I said before about most eliminations. My dream pick is Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
You need me to. All right. So my dream is Rhea Ripley because.
Tell us about a dream you had. All right.
No, it's Rhea because I mean, God,
Oh,
It's already been discussed that I want her to either be most eliminate. Like, I need her to make an impact because I think she's coming to the main roster. I think, again, making that impact is going to be huge for her, making that next step up.
Making
Because
her TNA impact.
We've seen too many wrestlers come up from NXT and not make enough of an impact to stay around. So something like that has to happen to keep her interesting. I think there's a great opportunity for Rhea Ripley with no titles involved, and it would be Charlotte Flair, and that would be fun to get that rematch in there. But she's my favorite wrestler in NXT. She's everything we talked about from a casting perspective on like Drew McIntyre. She's just in a different division. So that's everything to me. Give me Rhea Ripley all day.
Yeah. Our boy David came in. He's picking Nia Jax. I don't know how serious a pick this is, David. Oh, hey, Amy. Glad you joined it in. Yeah, he sounded wonderful. But my dream pick is not Nia Jax. I think that a lot of people would cancel their subscriptions and cancel Peacock if Nia Jax were to triumph. I think the only way we'd be okay with that is if somehow she won the men's rumble. That would be the only thing I could a palatable outcome. Matt, my dream pick, you said it. It's Rhea Ripley. It's time. Let's pull the trigger. She didn't quite get to have her WrestleMania moment last year. She was felled. I'm ready. I think we're buckled in. I think we've seen enough of her in NXT. I think that NXT women's division is so stacked. They don't need her anymore. But we could use some more muscle. We could use somebody who is, my God, the total package, the look, the skill set, wrestling-wise, the storytelling ability. It's everything you could want. It's so easy to market this person. She's so good at her job. Rhea Ripley should go over. I think people would be happy. I think they'd be excited. I think they'd be talking about it. Matt, WWE prioritizes the chat. They're talking. They're chirping. They're tweeting. They're TikToking. They're going to be TikToking about Rhea Ripley, man. I think that's the easy pick. All right, let's do some dark horses, Matt. I think we're in unison for Rhea. So the dark horses for that women's Royal Rumble. I'm going to go first on this one. I'm betting lead off here. So my dark horses, Io Shirai. Probably not going to happen, but I think if she does show up, she's so good. You'd have to at least maybe put. Maybe not like a Mario coin, but maybe like one Sonic ring in that pot. I would think about it. Matt, another dark horse, Becky Lynch. It's because if she's in it, she's gonna win it, and that's why I don't see her participating because she's too huge a deal. I can't see her just getting dumped by. Oh gosh, I don't know. Maybe it would be like a Bayley kind of situation. But Matt, my top dark horse. Former UFC champ, Matt. She's all over Twitch now. She's a UFC champ, Twitch champ, former Raw champ. Matt, give me Ronda Rousey. I think people would just lose their minds if she came out. It's just I don't think wrestling's a priority for her, so I can't put a lot into it. But I'm gonna giddy up on that dark horse. Matt, let's hear those dark horses for the women. Who you got?
I screwed up. There they are. Mike. Number one for me, or I'm going to say the first one I'm going to say. Number one is actually pretty fun. Number one is Becky Lynch. Number two, Ronda Rousey. So you just went over those. I think that would be kind of fun. We're calling them dark horses because we know they're not going to officially get the call or the assignment. I don't know, the official announcement. Mike, the most fun one, Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane wins the Royal Rumble and faces Asuka. At WrestleMania, how cool would that be?
I would have an out-of-body experience. My skeleton would leave my flesh, and I don't know. My bones would turn to dust. My skin would, turn into water again, and I would ascend into the heavens, and I'd become the carbon of, so many stars before us, that helped build the Big Bang. That's what kind of big moment that would be. That's how sure I am that it's not going to happen because I'm not going to ascend into the heavens, unfortunately.
So let's go into the Heartthrob picks because I think that makes more sense than who we, the last thing we're going to do is who we think will win. So the Heartthrob pick for the women's side for me is this is going to involve names I've already mentioned, but it's just that the Women's Rumble has been done so well to start that I think we can be pretty confident that we can have our favorites, the ones we want to win the most,
Yes.
actually still round out who's most likely to win. But I'm going to run through these because we've already mentioned them. Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley. Boom. Mike?
Mine are identical for the favorites. Bailey number one, Ripley 2, and I'm so sorry. I didn't scroll down all the way. So the Heartthrob Picks, please let them win. Rhea, I think it's just give her that, strap that rocket to her back. Let's see her fly to the moon. My body will be up there just thinking about Kairi Sane with her triumphant return to the United States. Please let them win Alexa. I want to see her actually get victories as this character changing, costume changing, blood spewing, rocking chair riding, swing set having, television, children's television show having monster character. Give me Alexa. And then Matt, I really like stirring the pot. I really like the internet wrestling community just, she's a part-timer. Where's Ronda Rousey winning the Rumble? And it just puts a little skip in my step. I'm just a little bit happier.
This is your please God, let them win.
Oh yeah. Oh, give me Ronda Rousey all day. She's so much better at wrestling, and she's only been doing it for like 5 minutes. She just picked it up, like how some people, I got a yo-yo for Christmas. It was in my stocking this year. I just learned how to yo-yo. And that's what Rousey did. She just picked up pro wrestling and was one of the best at it in like 5 minutes. So, give me that.
You're ridiculous. Sometimes, Mike, we've almost gone a whole month. You picked Brock Lesnar as the performer of the year last year.
You know who else? You know who else would have picked Brock Lesnar as performer of the year? Drew McIntyre. Yeah, Brock really put me over. I don't know where I'd be without Brock. He's way better. I was gonna fuck up the whole spot and go right back down to the mid card, and Brock really elevated me and helped me out. So big props to Lesnar. Love you, Brookie.
You can have a moment and not be performer of the
Hey, I'm just going off what Drew McIntyre said, all right? So me and Drew are in lockstep on that one. Sorry.
All right. I can't even begin to put the pieces together where you absolutely need Ronda Rousey to win the Royal Rumble. Thank you, Amy. Ridiculous. She loves you, Mike, but boo, Ronda. Yeah, Mike, you can say it would be neat for her to win, but don't say you need her to win. You made the rules. You made the rules for your heart.
Watching over me right now. It feels so good. Oh, yeah.
God. So then your Brock should be in your... All right. Well, I'm cheating right now.
Hey, don't look at my list. Look at your own list.
No, I'm looking at your list.
Don't look at it. Well, look at your list. Okay, there we go.
All right. You know what? I'm looking at it right now. All right.
Avert your eyes, sir. Avert your eyes.
Your top... This is when we lose all the viewers. Mike, your top 3 favorites to win the Women's Rumble. I think these will be 3 names that haven't been mentioned yet, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Top 3 favorites, easy peasy. Bailey, I'll fall off my couch if Bailey is not in the bottom 2. Rhea Ripley and then Bianca Belair. One of those 2 women is going to win, I think, and Bailey's going to be there to get them over.
That's a shot, Mike. I hope you know this. That's a shot at my Final 4 because Bailey wasn't anywhere near it. So,
man.
Here, Teddy Turnbuckle tuned it in. If Bailey doesn't win, I'll shave my green body. All right, you know what? To both you guys, you know what? Get ready. Get those clippers ready, Teddy. Because it's not happening. She's not in my Final 4. I don't care. Oh, my God. You too.
Nope. Teddy's going to have some beautiful locks, Matt. Me and Teddy are going to be high-fiving come Monday. All right? We're going to be laughing and growing our hair out, our nice COVID hair, It's going to look great.
Anyway, Mike, my top 3 favorites to win. Bailey, Rhea.
What? What's that? What?
All right. I recognize that she's a favorite to win. I'm just not picking her. I'm not saying I want her to win. Does that make sense?
Hold on. Special guest, former presidential candidate John Kerry is here to backpedal into a little Bailey prediction. Beautiful. Really excited to see John Kerry back in the news.
Is it good to know that I was ready for that? All right. No, I do recognize the fact that it makes a lot of sense to have Bailey and Sasha go at it. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me and Teddy really appreciate that. Thanks, Matt.
How about Goldberg in a wig? I think ultimately that's what we all want, right? Because Goldberg needs a change of pace. If he can't make it work in the men's division, Goldberg with a wig, that's the character change. I think. I don't.
If he comes out with like some cool like late '90s R&B, and he comes out as Juana Man, I'm gonna be all over that. I really would. I'd be all over that. That would be fantastic. Nia Jax wins the men's Rumble, and Juana Man wins the women's.
I really thought I was going to go the rest of my life without ever hearing Juana Man again. I really did. But here we are.
I wouldn't count on that because we're watching that in lieu of the Royal Rumble this Sunday, man. So get ready.
All right. So to finish off the list, of course, is Bianca Belair, who's I would say is my number one to win. She's my heartthrob. She's my in my bottom four. What was our other ones? Oh yeah, she wouldn't be a dark horse.
Who made your picks? Did you do them or Montez? I'm confused.
Wait, isn't he? He's only going out with Bianca. Why would? Oh, you mean for my whole? I'm ruining your joke. I'm sorry. Screwed up the jokes.
No problem.
There's like a quarter of the mead left, and mead's pretty strong.
You know what? You ruined another joke. You might be a Nemeth brother. I don't know what's going on over there.
All right, so Mike, that should we recap or should we say who are most likely?
We were at an hour and 8, buddy. We got to get rolling into these men's picks. Let's do it.
Let's roll into the men. All right, men final four. Mike, I'll go first.
All right,
I've got Big E, Bobby Lashley, Nakamura, and Daniel Bryan. That's right. The only final four you guys needed to hear. Right here, Big E, Bobby Lashley, Nakamura, and Daniel Bryan.
Oddly enough, I have my men's final four. I do have Big E in there.
You do have Daniel Bryan.
No, you know what?
You're going to take out Daniel Bryan just to make sure you don't agree with me twice?
No, I'm taking out Big E.
Oh, no.
I'm taking out Big E. I just changed it. Bobby Lashley's going in. He's going to be one of the big heels. He's going to be there at the end. AJ Styles, he's just been abusing people left and right on the weeks leading up to Royal Rumble. He's not going to win, but I think he wants some sort of finish in a Rumble. He hasn't really had a shot in this Battle Royal yet since he's been a contracted WWE employee. This is his year, Matt. And then little D-Bry. I think they've pushed him to the point where he's going to get somebody over at the end, but I don't think he's going to win. And, of course, he's got nothing else going on. He's entered into the Rumble. His only other dance partner, Randy Orton, is busy with his new burned face, wearing, Slapjack's old masks. I don't know what that's about.
Can I throw this out there? I think the reason he had to take that off is that it looked absolutely ridiculous.
See, I think you're in the minority on that one. I think a lot of people thought he looked really cool, like Patrick Bateman, like a little American Psycho.
Let me finish. I think it probably looked absolutely ridiculous in a brightly lit room. When he was going to be in that ring, he was going to have a light pink skin over his dark tanned body. So it was going to be dark tan body and then a little light pink head. Please, God, tell me you know where I'm going with this so I don't have to finish.
Oh, finish it, Matt. Finish it. I'll say Randy, if we learned anything from Randy the Ram Ramzinski from the wrestler, that wrestlers will commit to tanning in the face of
darkest of time.
In the face of melanoma. So I think Randy Orton still would have tried to tan that little perfect pink patch on his face from the Alexa Bliss burn. So with that said,
wake up the baby. I gotta make sure.
That's you cackling over there. Nemeth brother. All right. So Edge, I think, is unfortunately going to win because that's how WWE likes to do these things. Matt, let's move on. We got to go to the dream picks. Matt, these are the dream scenarios. Matt, for the men.
But here's the I'm picking my dream pick, even though I think it could go a few different ways. But I think this would just be, God, it would be so great to just see him get back at the top and then to really define him as like a crucial character to this roster by giving him a second Royal Rumble win. Mike, my dream win. While I really do want to see Big E take one. My dream, though, right now for this roster would be Nakamura.
Big fan of his. Another guy, when I saw him wrestle for 5 minutes, I scrambled to buy a T-shirt with his name on it because I was so excited to tell people how much I love Nakamura. But my dream pick, Matt, with a nightmare scenario and Goldberg defeating Drew McIntyre. Somebody has got to come out and slap that meaty man meat. And what better choice than Mr. Meaty Man Meat himself, Big E. Matt, we get a boiled up meaty man slapping meat contest at WrestleMania, and Big E is triumphant. Woo!
What if he put that in the podcast because he knew a year ago that this was going to happen?
He had a feeling he's going to win that Royal Rumble for us and take down Goldberg at WrestleMania and retire Goldberg. And Goldberg's going to lose the match and leave his trunks in the middle of the ring and walk butt naked back up the ramp.
What if that became a new thing? Please, God. For every male wrestler that retires henceforth.
I'd be more excited for that than Big E watching those manly cheeks walk up the ramp. So, Matt, dream scenario for me is Big E winning and Goldberg ashamed at WrestleMania, walking bare-assed up the ramp to a crowd at 25% capacity. Woo! So that takes us to our dark horse picks, Matt. I got 3 of them. I'm doing mine first because I'm really excited about him. He changed his song. He's a babyface again. Matt, Shinsuke Nakamura. Matt, my number 2 is Bray Wyatt. I don't think he's even going to really participate. I think all he's going to do is flub up Randy Orton's attempt to win the Rumble. I think that's his goal. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think he's going to factor in. I don't even think he's going to be one of the 30 in the draw. I think he's just going to have some supernatural cameo and then poof, get ready for WrestleMania. Matt, my dark horse. Vince McMahon giggles at him. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but he likes the guy. He likes the look of his face.
Jib.
He likes his jib. He likes that yawning jaw of Matt Riddle, and that's who I'm picking as my dark horse. I don't know if Vince is just a fan of those flip flops getting kicked off in the air, or he likes the Matt style, so to speak. When the guy does a lot of Matt wrestling, Matt Riddle. But Matt Klink, I'm addressing you. I think that this guy could honestly run the company. Like, he's that charismatic, he's that skilled. I just don't think that they're ready to put the rocket on him, but if they did, woo-wee, and I could get Matt Riddle versus Goldberg at WrestleMania for that title, Matt, that's going to put some butts in seats that are 6 feet apart from each other. Matt, give me your dark horses, and you got to do a horsey impression before you get into it.
Is that fine?
He sounded like an upset constable, but Matt, close enough. What are your 3 dark horses?
I had to change mine because I realized one of my dark horses is the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble. So that just goes to prove that we did make this list before we looked at the odds. But I think it totally makes sense for me to take off the guy who's the odds-on favorite because it's going to be kind of dumb. Okay, Mike, my list: AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm going to throw in Adam Cole. I feel like if we're talking dark horses, that's a guy. Maybe that's more of like a heartthrob pick. Like, I would be really excited to see him win. But this is one that would make sense if we're going to do a surprise. If we had plans for everyone else, then let Adam Cole come in here and he can fight Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Of course, he's the guy who took down Drew at in NXT. I think he'd like a little bit of payback. Yeah, that's right.
About that
moving right along. To those Heartthrob picks for the men's side, Mike absolutely have to win. Or please let them win is how we're defining it. Nakamura again. Big E again. Cesaro. Please, could you imagine how great that would be? And if they were concerned about the crowd reaction at the end of the Royal Rumble, which they're dumb for thinking that, because you and I know that they would blow up, but there's always those reasons like why would they not pick Cesaro? This would be just go ahead and do it, and now they don't have to have their silly little conversations in the back about maybe he's not over as much as he thinks he is. No, it would just be boom, he gets it. Let's throw him in on a road to WrestleMania where we control the sound, the crowd noise, and give him some victories. And let's set up Cesaro versus Drew McIntyre for Cesaro versus Roman Reigns, Cesaro versus Goldberg. Two baldies with a little bit of beard going at it.
It's a lot of glare on the screen if you're watching. I don't know. Might not.
Throw Sheamus in there too.
One of them's gonna have to grow their hair out. I want to see Cesaro grow out as George Costanza. That's what I want. Is it time for my Heartthrob picks? Because I'm ready. Please let Matt Riddle win. Just turn the wrestling world upside down and let it smoke a big bowl of marijuana to celebrate. That's number 3. Matt Moment number 2, AJ Styles. This is a guy who got to fight, broken Undertaker at WrestleMania. He had to fight Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. He had to have a losing feud against Chris Jericho, which made no sense. I think we can give him, one of those moments that we look back on.
Yeah. No, that makes so much sense right now.
And AJ Styles. The only thing getting in the way is I don't think that they're going to let that almost be there for a Royal Rumble winner. So that's what kind of bums me out. If he's kind of by himself on this streak that he's on now, I think he'd be higher on my list. But, man, I would really like to see AJ win. And, Matt, I like picking these not just for Sunday, but I like picking them with WrestleMania in mind. And that's why.
Don't say it.
If you smell what The Rock. Okay. Now, there's no shot of The Rock. I think he's filming, I don't know, Jumanji 3 or Fast and the Furious 15 or something. I think he's busy. But if we could set up The Rock at number 30 to fight Roman Reigns for the ultimate Samoan head of the table at WrestleMania, I think people would absolutely go diaper shopping because they would just be pooping their pants all the time. It's not going to happen, but it's one of those things I can, take a knee and, put my symbol up there and just hope, maybe the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time can start having its seeds planted in us.
It will happen, but it's going to happen at a full capacity Royal Rumble.
All right.
Boom. Okay. Mike, we have our favorites now to pick. I'm sure everybody's thoroughly confused at this point when we jump around the board here. So our 3 favorites, again, this is who we think is most likely to win. We're not talking about who do we hope's going to win, what's our dream win, dark horses. We're talking who is most likely to win here. Mike, I will go first. I'm going to go from top. Can I change my answer? I'm going to change my answers. All right, let's do this. Brock Lesnar, Big E. I'm going to cheat. I said I wasn't going to change my Daniel Bryan. I mean, come on.
Brock, that order, Brock, Big E, Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan, you're picking as the winner?
I have to. I'm too informed at this point.
He's going with the odds. He's going with the odds makers.
I'm cheating.
I don't think Daniel Bryan, I think he wants to put people over. I don't think he's going to win. I think Bobby Lashley is probably going to have a crap ton of eliminations, and he's going to get eliminated, and we're going to be upset. I think Brock Lesnar is going to be there in some capacity, but I don't think he's going to win. Matt, they have no other program planned for Edge. He's in the Royal Rumble. There's nothing else going on for him. People like paying to watch this guy. They love, on the stage, I see clearly. Get ready to
was on this day.
He becomes is it day? I don't know. He's screaming.
Is it stage or day? All right, while you're talking,
Well, on the Royal Rumble stage on that Sunday, Edge is going to stand triumphant. The fireworks are going off. We're going to see the devil horns. And I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be as excited as some other legends or Matt Riddle winning or AJ Styles winning. And I think Edge is probably going to be there. I think Edge.
Who has 2 thumbs and got that right? This guy. Metalingus. On this day, I see clearly. Everything is come to life. Broken dream. Leave it all behind. All right, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Was that Cher coming in at the end?
Yeah, absolutely was.
Cher's a big fan of wrestling. Matt, I think we got through the picks. I'll just recap the favorites, right? I'm picking Bayley and Edge to walk out as Rumble winners.
Bianca Belair and you know what? I'm sticking with Big E. I'm gonna go with that. Bianca Belair and Big E.
Matt has updated his list 15 times since the show started. All right.
I gotta stick with Big E because that's who I picked in November, and I gotta go 4 years in a row getting that right.